Let's head up this way. Little ones. Ow, they hit a lot more when they've been buffed by that gang. Like a lot more, actually. Eesh. Okay, well, the other little ones are kind of stuck behind him. Oh, just... They got by, so... And another. You don't have minions. Luckily, neither he nor the big knight with the tower shield will get back up, so if we have to run up here again, it's just gonna be the little guys. Buckler and Balder Gauntlets. Okay, apparently I can occasionally get armor drops after those guys. That's actually a first. The Buckler's probably a parrying shield. Very small round metal shield. Parry attacks with large center protrusion. Yeah, so again, if I want to try to figure out how to parry, which at some point I probably should, I'm going to use either the small leather shield or the Buckler, I guess. And as for the Balder Gauntlets, compared to, say, the Elite Knight, the Elite Knight's a little bit better in terms of physical defenses at the cost of being slightly worse in weight. They're very comparable, but I'd say the Elite Knight's a little bit better. Door just doesn't open, and you're supposed to get in by rolling through the wall like I did. Oh, what is this? Got some humanity.
Still human, are you? Then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck without recourse.
Guess that's where the mystery key went.
Thank you. Yes, sincerely. I am Knight Lautrec of Carim. I truly appreciate this. And I guarantee a reward. Only later.
Okay, then. Soul. The gargoyles. There's the second one. He likes to breathe fire, which is gonna be a problem for me. So we're gonna get the magic out now, I think. One didn't get his tail, but to be honest, I'm not that interested in the gargoyle axe, especially not this run. Not a big fan of axe weapons anyway, to be honest. I'd probably go with clubs or really big swords if I was going to do a strength build. Oh god, ow. Oh dear. Okay, there he goes again. Let's just back up. You know, I probably should switch to the red tier stone ring rather than the blue, because I don't think I have enough health for the blue one to really save me. Oh, gargoyle helm. To really save me if I get hit when it's active. But the extra damage on red, that just might. So while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to swap to red Tearstone Ring until we find something that might suit me a bit better. Well, that's Bell of Awakening number 1. By far the easier of the two to get to. And now you're here.
Greetings. I am Oswald of Carim, the Palm. Thou art a friend. For thee, a warm welcome. Cometh thou to confess, or to accuse? For indeed all sin is my domain.
I think requesting absolution will make some NPCs talk to you if you've picked the wrong dialogue option or if you've aggroed them without killing them, although I think it doesn't always fix all things associated with that, but I think that's what that does. And he also sells purging stones. The Karmic Justice was apparently mostly a PvP thing so that you couldn't get comboed. I'm not sure how good it is outside of that. He also sells the Blood Bite and Poison Bite rings that boost bleeding and poison resistance respectively. Those might be useful. And the Velka's Talisman would potentially be useful if I really wanted to pick up miracles, because it scales on intelligence rather than faith, although you still need the minimum faith required to cast the miracles, so it doesn't completely get you out of having to invest in faith if you want to use them. So I guess if I find any miracles that I really, really, really want to use, I should probably come back here and pick up that talisman from him. Meantime, though... Oh, we did pick up that gargoyle helm. That might be cool. Should probably take a look at it. Let's see. Physical defenses are pretty comparable to the Elite Knight helm. The weight is notably better, and the magic defenses and resists are a lot better. So actually, I'm probably going to switch to that, because the only points where it's worse are for thrust and strike. It's a little bit worse, not horribly worse. Helm of the Gargoyle, an enchanted creature that guarded the Bell of the Awakening in the belfry of the Undead Church. This bronze helm was for mere appearance's sake, as gargoyle skin is naturally hard. Little in the way of defense can be expected from it, and yet it's actually pretty solid. Maybe make up your mind there when you're writing the lore, guys, because I'm putting that on. Maybe if I upgraded the Elite Knight helm, it would be better. I can't decide if I like the way that looks or hate it. I think the answer is I don't like the way that it looks with the Sorcerer robes as the chest piece. I think I can pretty conclusively say that much, but it's what I'm stuck wearing for right now unless I want to be able to, unless I don't want to be able to roll at all, which, well, I mean, technically, yes, you could fat roll at that point, but that's not a great thing to do. I'm just gonna draw from here. Of course, you guys. Y'all are annoying. We're gonna go Soul Arrows here. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can just get enough distance to make this work. Alright, well, I got one of them. And now that we're down to just you. There we go. Should have just taken the long way down. Didn't stop to think that, oh yeah, those guys are still there, and if I drop there, it's probably going to be in their aggro range. Okay, so as far as leveling up, intelligence would be good for making my spells do more damage, which might help if I decide I want to try to kill that undead dragon in the Valley of the Drakes. However, more endurance would help against the Hydra, because then I would hopefully eventually be able to block its melee attack, which would also be helpful. I also think getting another attunement slot at this point would be good, because I'm using all 3 of the ones I currently have, so if I get one more spell, then I'm going to use that slot. So let's just get that. And yeah, I'm going to say endurance, because not having stamina and whatnot's not great, and also more equipment load might mean I can eventually use a different chest piece rather than having to use the Sorcerer's Robes, although that's probably going to take a little bit. Just let's see, what weight am I currently sitting at? 24, and I could use up to 26. So yeah, I'm going to need a pretty significant investment in endurance if I want to be able to use a different chest piece. It's going to be a little bit. So, is there someone sleeping here? Is that what the Bell of Awakening is supposed to do? Something in here is gonna wake up when I ring the second one? Like right now, I've got it kind of snoring and he's trying to hit the snooze button. So I need to go ring the second one to tell him to actually get up. Well, worth checking out after I ring the second bell. Because yeah, unfortunately, I didn't actually get back up to Firelink or anything after I rang the second bell in my last game. So I don't really know much of what all it did. I know that it opened the gate that the Onion Knight was sitting next to, so I know that's how that happens, but that's about the limit of my knowledge. So, let's see. What all could I do at this point? I could go try to take out that undead dragon, but of course, if I end up not having enough magic for it, then it's going to make actually traveling past it kind of tricky until I manage to take it out. And there's really not a whole lot else that I can do in the Valley of Drakes. I could go through to Blighttown that way if I wanted, but there's a lot of items and stuff, and NPCs too, in the lower Undead Burg that I need to get anyway. So I'd honestly rather go that way first. I just went that way a little bit just to open up the way from the New Londo Ruins into the Valley of the Drakes. I didn't really want to like get to Quelaag's Domain and all that way, even though it would be quicker. I think I'd just be missing too much stuff. I've kind of hit a wall in Darkroot Basin for the moment. I either have to take out the Moonlight Butterfly or I have to take out the Hydra, and both of them are problems for me right now. And, of course, the Catacombs, too, which are past the graveyard, but I don't think my odds against the skeletons have significantly improved unless I want to use the Morning Star the whole way through, which I really don't. My damage on that thing is not great. Skeletons are not vulnerable to bleed. It's just the only blunt weapon that I really have. Yeah, I think I'd rather wait until I have pyromancies or maybe a better weapon option. I'm not sure. So probably not that way yet. And as far as I know, at least, yeah, those are my options. Go into Blighttown, one of the two available ways. Go kill the undead dragon in the Valley of the Drakes. Not that it's going to open anything new. It's just something I can do. Or figure out something in Darkroot Garden, either against the Moonlight Butterfly or the Hydra. Or the Catacombs. Yeah, I think I'm going to try my luck against the undead dragon. It'll either go well or it won't. And then regardless after that, we'll start working our way through the Undead Burg to get into the lower Undead Burg, the Depths, and then Blighttown. That'll be a real fun trip. Okay, Undead Dragon. That's what I decided on doing. I had to take a short break there. Oh, and I see you've decided to show up.
Hello there. I have your reward. Please, accept it.
Sunlight.
I am grateful to you for freeing me. Not enough for you? Well, let's not be greedy now.
Do you have anything else to say?
By the Lords, your face. Your humanity is really slipping, but there are methods. Most fools have more humanity than they know what to do with. Now, who do you imagine will make the best use of it?
Okay, thinking that I didn't rescue the most savory of people here.
You again. What is it? Our futures are murky. Let's not be too friendly now.
And I guess that's all you have to say for the moment. this way. We need to go in the other tower. Not up for fighting ghosts at the moment, I don't think. I wonder... I hope that if I use the transient curse that it also affects my spells, so that my spells can hit the ghosts. And it's not just a you must fight them with your weapons. First, we wake this guy up. Yep, there he goes. I'm not... Yep. Yeah, I kind of figured that would happen if I didn't get away right quick, but not a big deal. Worst case, I lose some souls if I can't get them back, but that's fine. Now that it's awake, we can just try to pelt it with magic from out of its melee range. That's the plan. It's also going to come down to if the lack of... Because when I fought this thing before, I had the tattered robes, and that has a much higher poison resistance than anything that I currently have access to. So, yeah, that's going to be the other thing is, you know, without the poison resistance, can I deal with getting nicked by its breath? Nice amount of damage. Didn't even need to dip into the heavy soul arrows. Surprised. Yeah, there are definitely things that I could do to make that even more viable once I find the Sorcerer's Apprentice that could summon more spells and a ring that would boost my sorceries, and then wherever I got the Dusk Tower ring. I know I found that last time, but I cannot remember where I found it, so... Who knows if I'm going to find it again or not. I've come across some things this time that I didn't see last time, especially in Darkroot Garden. But there might be some things I missed too. You never know. 'Cause I do not know this game super well. Even the bits I've been through. I've only been through a couple times at most. Okay, so... The Partisan, even though they both say C scaling, this is a slightly worse C scaling than the Winged Spear. And the base damage is a little bit lower. The weight is the same. Spear with blade attached to broad point. Boasts long reach and can slice. The wide range of the spear makes it adaptable to many situations. Its strength lies in its length, but in cramped quarters this backfires and slices ricochet off walls. Alright, I'll give that a try and try that move set because it might be a little bit different than the standard spear. And then here's what we just picked up: Astora's Straight Sword. It does require some faith, although I believe that's only for the magic damage. I kind of wonder if maybe it might still cause you to bounce off of things, though, if you don't meet that requirement. I'd have to try it. But it's essentially, for me at least, it would be a slightly better straight sword because I don't have the faith to actually activate its magical abilities. Straight Sword of an Unknown Knight, likely one of Astora's superiors. A high-quality weapon with a powerful blessing. And the Dragon Crest Shield, which we're just going to actually have comparing to the Spider Shield because that makes life a bit easier. Worse against magic and a little bit worse against lightning. Slightly better against fire. Weight is the same. Honestly, it's almost as good against fire as the Black Knight Shield, so I don't feel too bad about missing out on that, although its stability is worse than the Black Knight Shield would be. I have the strength to use it if I need it. Shield of a Nameless Knight, likely a high-ranked knight of Astora. One of the enchanted blue shields, the Dragon Crest Shield greatly reduces fire damage. Let's try this thing. It has the same strength requirement as the Winged Spear, so I can try it. Okay, so instead of a heavy thrust, the heavy attack is a swipe. So that's probably its main difference. That, and I think it has a slightly wider hitbox, or at least it looks like it should, given the head of it. Just at the cost of slightly reduced damage compared to the Winged Spear overall. Kind of depends on what I need, I guess. Because, yeah, a heavy attack with the Winged Spear is just a heavier thrust, so it's a little less versatile, but... Yep, now the undead dragon is just completely dead. And we've done pretty much everything we can do in the Valley of the Drakes for the moment. And while we could go into Blighttown via this shortcut, like I said, we'd end up missing a lot of stuff in the Lower Undead Burg and the depths. And there's a whole other boss in the depths that we would have to go back through there for anyway, so we may as well do it now so that we also get those NPCs and such.